Stop believing everything the US media tells you about Mexico. If you've spent any time watching TV or YouTube, you've probably heard one of two extreme stories. Mexico is dangerous and you should never go. Or Mexico is a paradise where anyone can move tomorrow and live cheaply forever. Guess what? Neither of those is true. The reality about Mexico is much more nuanced. And if you're considering visiting, retiring, or even moving here, you need the facts, not the media hype. In this video, we're going to break down the biggest myths versus facts about Mexico, from safety concerns, to immigration rules, to whether you can actually just buy your way in. And here's the thing, if you're serious about moving to Mexico, there are legal steps you must follow. That's where we come in. We can connect you with a professional lawyer in Mexico who specializes in immigration and residency. And you can even book a free consultation through our website. But before we get there, let's cut through the noise and talk about the real Mexico that the US media never explains properly. Let's start with the biggest myth of them all, the one that headlines love the most. Let's face it, when you hear about Mexico in the US news, it usually involves violence, cartels, or kidnappings. These stories grab attention, but here's the truth. Mexico is not dangerous everywhere. Yes, crime exists, but just like in the US, it's highly regional. Some states like Guerrero and Tamaulipas are indeed high risk. That's why the US State Department issues travel advisories for specific regions. But here's the fact the media rarely shares. Many parts of Mexico are far safer than US cities you might already live in. Take Yucatan and Campeche, for example. These states consistently report some of the lowest crime rates in all of Mexico, and even lower than major US cities. In fact, let's compare. Mexico City's homicide rate is about 9 per 100,000. Sounds high. Well, Baltimore, New Orleans, and even St. Louis in the US report 15 or more per 100,000. That's nearly double. So when the media paints Mexico with one broad brush of danger, they're leaving out the full picture. Now, does this mean you should throw caution to the wind? Absolutely not. Tourists should still take normal precautions just like they would in New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles. Watch your belongings, avoid risky neighborhoods. So, is Mexico unsafe everywhere? No. The truth is, millions of people, both locals and foreigners, live here happily and safely every day. The danger myth is exaggerated, and understanding the regional differences is key. Which brings us to the next big myth. Myth 2. Expat paradise. Okay, let's bust the second myth. Mexico is an expat paradise anyone can move to. If you've scrolled through YouTube, you've seen the videos. I retired to Mexico on just $500 a month. Or I moved here overnight and life is perfect. The reality? It's not that simple. Yes, Mexico does offer a lower cost of living compared to many US cities. Yes, you can live very comfortably in some areas, especially if you're earning in dollars. But the process of moving here isn't as effortless as the media makes it look. First, there's the legal side. You can't just show up and stay forever. Residency requires meeting income requirements, filing paperwork, and in many cases, proving economic solvency or family ties. We'll talk more about this shortly. Then there's the quality of life. It varies widely depending on where you live. Mexico City offers world-class restaurants, airports, and culture. But it also comes with traffic and higher costs. Smaller towns may be peaceful and affordable, but they might lack infrastructure like good hospitals or fast internet. And let's not forget the cultural and language barriers. If you don't speak Spanish, everyday tasks like setting up utilities or visiting a doctor can be frustrating. So no, Mexico is not an instant problem-free paradise for anyone. It's a country with amazing opportunities, but also real challenges. The people who thrive here are the ones who respect the culture, learn the language, and navigate the legal process properly. And that's exactly where having a professional lawyer makes all the difference. If you're thinking of moving here, you'll save yourself a ton of stress by getting proper legal guidance from the start. So no, Mexico is not just an easy paradise you can walk into, but with the right mindset and legal support, it can be an amazing new chapter in your life. Now, let's clear up another misconception. The idea that Mexico is suddenly closing its doors to foreigners. You might have seen dramatic headlines or social media posts saying it's becoming impossible to move here. But here's the truth. Mexico continues to offer multiple legal pathways for foreigners. Temporary residency based on income, retirement, or investment. Permanent residency for those who meet higher requirements or have family ties. And of course, special visas for work, family reunification, or study. What's happening now is not a shutdown, but an adjustment. Mexico is dealing with massive migration flows from Central and South America, so immigration officers are stricter in applying the rules. But if you qualify, you can still get in legally. This is why it's so important to do things the right way. Having an experienced immigration lawyer in Mexico ensures that you meet the financial requirements, prepare your paperwork correctly, and avoid costly mistakes. And remember, when you work with us, we connect you directly to a professional lawyer who can guide you step by step. You can even book a free consultation through our website to understand exactly what you qualify for. So no, Mexico is not shutting you out. The door is still open, but only if you walk through it legally with the right documents in hand. And speaking of doors, here's the next big misconception that you can simply buy your way in. Let's talk about that. Myth 4. You can just buy your way in. Another myth I hear all the time is this: if I just buy property in Mexico, I'll automatically get residency, or even citizenship. This one is very misleading. And here's the reality. Owning property in Mexico does not automatically grant you residency. Mexico does have options for people who can prove economic solvency or make investments. For example, to apply for a temporary resident visa, you usually need to show proof of monthly income, typically between $2,000 to $2,500 USD, or substantial savings of around $100,000 USD. You can also qualify by making a real estate or business investment. But the numbers have to meet specific thresholds. And here's another twist. If you want to own property in restricted zones, like near the coastline or the borders, you don't buy it directly. You have to go through what's called a fideicomiso or bank trust. It's perfectly legal, but it adds another layer of complexity. So yes, property ownership can support your residency application, but it's not a golden ticket. You still need to meet all the financial and legal criteria. This is why so many people waste time or even lose money. They assume buying a condo is enough. It's not the safest way to do it. Work with a professional immigration lawyer who knows exactly what requirements apply to you. You can even book a free consultation through our website today. So no, you can't just buy your way in. Mexico has rules, requirements, and processes. And with the right guidance, you can navigate them smoothly. But now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. How the US media shapes perceptions of Mexico in the first place. So, why do these myths exist in the first place? The answer is simple: media framing. Television and even YouTube creators often use two extremes to get attention. On one hand, they highlight crime and violence to create fear. On the other, they sell the fantasy of a tropical paradise where you can escape all your problems overnight. Both are designed to grab views, but neither tells the full story. The truth is, Mexico is not universally dangerous, and it's not a flawless paradise either. It's a complex country with opportunities, challenges, and legal processes you must respect if you want to move here. That's why critical thinking is so important. Don't let headlines or clickbait guide your decisions about your life. Look at real facts, real data, and most importantly, get professional guidance. And here's where we can help you. Along with the steps in helping you explore life in Mexico, we connect you with our professional immigration lawyer, who specializes in Mexican residency and property laws. The best part? You can book a free consultation through our website right now. That way, you'll know exactly what pathway is best for you, what requirements you need to meet, and how to avoid the common mistakes that so many people make. So let's recap. Mexico is not dangerous everywhere. It's not an easy paradise for anyone. The country is not closing its doors, and you can't just buy your way in. The reality is much more balanced, and with the right legal help, you can make Mexico your new home safely and successfully. So stop believing the myths, start looking at the facts, and if you're serious about this journey, visit our website today and book your free consultation with our lawyer. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. Get notified of future videos. Comment your thoughts below. We reply to each comment. I'll see you there, and hopefully, soon, in Mexico.